What's going on? Here's my next video on drawing dynamic anime poses from reference. And in this video, I chose a couple of pictures that I found on Pinterest, and a couple of these were showing this guy holding two hammers, and in a certain perspective on both pictures that I chose. And for this one, I chose because it was kind of like a top-down angle, so I wanted to use this as more of a challenge. And so for this, I started out with the head first and working my way down, and I'm trying to use the shapes to figure out how to position the figure. And so I'm starting out with the circle. I'm doing a cylinder for the chest and the waist, what kind of like a half cylinder. And I'm kind of breaking it apart at the bottom, as you see me doing right there, to know where to place the kind of like the rib cage area. And for this kind of pose, I want to choose something with him holding something. And in this one, he has like two hammers. He has one on the top hand or his left hand, and the other one on the bottom right hand. And you could start out drawing the hammer first, working my way into the figure. But for this one, I chose to start with the figure first and work my way out. And it can be, you can go in either way, depending on whatever method you want to do to best do it the way you want to do it, or the easiest way. And so now I'm working in the cylinders for the legs, and you see that the more further down I go, the smaller it gets, because it's going in perspective. So the further out you go, the bigger it is, and the further down you go, the smaller it gets. And you can also do this perspective lines if you want, or you can just eyeball it. And for this one, since the reference is already there, I'm just eyeballing it. Because if you were to go and draw it from perspective grid, you know that the line will be way above out of view, and then you start drawing the perspective lines. And I'll get into some videos later on that, on drawing perspective grids to figure out how to draw 2-point perspective or 3-point perspective, and even 5-point perspective, which is the most challenging. And you see now I got the main base of the figure done. So now I'm working in the hammer. And you see that I drew the hammer before I drew the arm and the hand, only because when you know where the hammer is going to be placed, or whatever weapon that you have, you can just draw it out and then place the hand and the arm and position it to where it's holding it, afterwards. That way you'll know and can measure how far the distance is from the arm and the hammer or the sword or whatever weapon that the character is holding. And the more you work in the shapes and adding those details, the more your brain will start to figure out what it is. And even if you're doing it from out of your head, you can just draw the shapes out of your head, starting with the head first, and start to play around with the chest area and bend it around in different positions. And then after you bend it to where you want it, you can easily just add in the shapes of the arms and legs. And I'll make a video of that later on to show you how to do that. And it's kind of an easier way to create and make up your own poses off of that. I mean, some poses will look kind of funny, but at the same time, it's like when you start to erase that and add in details to create whatever figure that you're trying to make, it'll start to make more sense to you. So right now I'm just darkening all the areas, trying to erase and fix certain things. And even right now at this step, you can erase it or lightly with a rubber eraser to go over with details. And usually, if you've seen a lot of my drawings, I'll start adding in those crazy muscles, which is why I'm a huge fan of the Baki series. If you see my older videos where I had a lot of Baki related content for drawing muscles and poses. And also you can leave a comment down below if there's a particular pose you want to see me do. So right now I'm just darkening everything, fixing things up to kind of get my brain to figure, because sometimes when I'm drawing or creating a certain pose, Sometimes when the pose is done, you may see me just retrace over certain lines because maybe I'm trying to figure something out, or I may erase a certain area just to get my brain working and thinking to try to figure out, oh, maybe I can change this, or maybe I can add something here. And so you'll see me just it's kind of like a little twitch, however they call it. And I see him working in the hand, right side or left side, depending on which way the camera's going. They add in that second hammer. You know, drawing these poses, you're just having fun with it, just playing around and messing around. And since it's at this base stage and not really details added to it, then you can do whatever you want. Now for this one, I chose the similar view, top down, but this time he has his back turned. So I'm kind of just showing another way of method of drawing it that way. You just see me I have the head kind of more defined, just because his head is tilted in the not an awkward way, but just it's tilted to the side, and I'm trying to show that even though it's a base sketch, just to have my brain know that that's where or how the head is turning. And it's all, and the trickiest part with that or with this is normally the neck, and how the head is positioned on the neck can determine how the head will turn and look properly. And so right now I'm adding in the typical bean shape for the chest and torso. And you see for this one, because like I mentioned before, you know, the top is bigger, bottom is smaller, especially when it's in the perspective. You see that the waist is even smaller because the camera is further down. And I mean, well, the camera is up, but the more down you look, the more your eyes can't see. So if you look behind a certain area, if your eye can't see there, then just you can't draw whatever your eye isn't looking at. Which you'll see here, you see his feet at the bottom, some are hidden, so you can't just draw his foot if you can't see it. And so right now I'm adding in his legs. And it's almost weird because when you're drawing into perspective or before it's even finished, it always looks kind of weird. Even when you're drawing the base shapes, it'll look weird until you start to finalize and add in those details into it. And for this particular one, I've started to add more details to this one, only because I just maybe I was bored and wanted to add a little more to it. But sometimes I'll make a base shape and I'll add in some anatomical features to just for the fun of it. And right now I'm adding in the cylinder for the arms, work my way down. And the hammer for this side it's not really that tricky. I mean, you can even another way of drawing weapons in arms and hands is to draw them as boxes and later add in the structure of whatever it is. I think one time before I drew a firearm and I drew the box first. It was like an old short some time ago. I mean, if you look further down my feed in my shorts, you'll probably see me drawing one. And I think I drew a firearm and I made a box first, and I just drew the trigger and everything inside of it to form it. I would say what it is, but I don't know if YouTube will monetize me or demonetize me for saying what it is. I'm saying, oh, it was a firearm. It's probably the most appropriate word for it. So I'm working in his arm, getting in that part of the hammer. And since the hammer is at an angle, you're going to draw the handle first, and then you add the bottom part to it, or not the bottom part, but the top part. But because he has it upside down, it's in the bottom. I'm making a circle for their shoulders, and the cylinder for their forearm. You don't really have to add the circle for the shoulders. I mean, for the elbows, but it's a way of sometimes trying to figure out and create the bend of the arm. Because sometimes you can draw it. I mean, because I may draw it one day and not add the circle for the elbows, depending on how fast I'm drawing the figure, or the time it's going to take me to get it done. Like if I'm at a time crunch and I want to get it done fast, I may skip certain steps. But when you're starting out in the beginning, you'll go through and you draw everything, and then at some point you'll just not do it. Like the shapes that I'm doing now when I'm drawing these type of poses, I typically don't create these shapes when I'm drawing poses. I may do it depending on how challenging the pose is. Let's say if the pose is super challenging, then I may decide to draw shapes just to be able to figure out how the pose is. And then after that, when I'm drawing the pose again, that's sometime in the future, I may just gesture it out. And when I'm gesturing it, I'm just quickly drawing some random lines and sketching lines, or I may just be doing just a super simple quick sketch. So right now I'm working in the fingers, trying to get that around the pose. And you can, sometimes I'll add fingers before I draw the pose. And sometimes I'll draw the pole first and then I'll just add the fingers after. It all depends on the preference of how you want to do it. I mean, there's multiple methods for drawing poses and different things. It's like I can draw a pose doing the head first. I can draw a pose drawing the torso first. I can draw a pose doing the foot first. It doesn't matter how you draw the pose, as long as the pose gets done the way you want it to look. But there's multiple different ways to drawing a pose. And the best ways of drawing the pose from your head is from drawing it from other positions. I mean, I'll draw it. I'd rather do a chest and torso and waist, and then start adding in the head and arms after. Easier to doing multiple poses out of your head than it is to drawing other body parts first. I mean, I could draw the head first at some point, but to me, drawing the torso and bending it in different areas, and then adding in the other shapes for the arms and the hands and legs would make it a lot easier for me. I mean, for you, it can be different. And you see that right now, I threw in a couple of anatomical shapes for the back. That's it for this video. If you want to see any more videos like this, hit the like button, comment for any other poses you want to see. All right, take care.